So welcome this morning. It's day 75 of compassionate response to COVID-19 with my buddy. So yesterday we had Vajradaka. I interviewed Vajradaka, who was one of the main meditation teachers at Vajradaka years ago. And and then so today he's going to do a workshop with us for about half an hour. Kind of showing what he teaches, the way that he teaches these days, so he goes into large banks in the city of London and does meditation teaching with those, and it's kind of an international meditation teacher really. So that'll be interesting later on. But first of all, I'm just going to do some body work and then hand over to him. So just begin by just rotating your hips. And becoming aware of the contact of your body with the ground and your clothing and the air. And just pushing your hand to one side and then the other side. So just doing a stretch as your torso turns. Hold it for a little bit. So looking for a nice twist in your torso. Have your head rising up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Crown of your head. And rub your hands together. And backs of your hands, up your arms. And drumming the fingers on your forehead. And the back of your neck. And just doing this with your ears. Listen to the sound. So as ever, taking your time, just kind of introducing yourself to your body again. And breathing into your hands and curving your neck over so that you're turning away from the world. Take some deeper breaths. And then just giving your face a bit of a wash with your hands. Brushing your body, brushing any tension off the ends of your arms. And weight your chest up. Tops of your shoulders. And then circling movement on your stomach in a clockwise direction. shaking your hands and feet out. And then just put your hands on your stomach. Bend your knees slightly. And wait for your breathing to calm down. And then when you notice that you're breathing out, bending your knees. So you're going down on the out breath and coming up on the in breath. And down on the out breath. Coming up on the in breath. Down on the out breath. Up on the in breath. Put your thoughts to one side, so you just do it's just a physical action that you're doing here. So you just follow your breath by bending your knees and straightening your knees. Try to take the whole of your torso down in one piece. And put your hands out the front, and then on the in breath just bringing them up to your chin, turning at the chin, down on the out breath, turning at the hips, up on the in breath, down on the out breath, coming up on the in breath, and down on the out breath. Imagining a ball of energy going up the middle of your body as you bring your hands up, and then going down through the middle of your body like a golden ball of energy coming up on the in-breath, down on the out-breath. Try to stay sensitive to that energy, so you're going at a pace where you're including it, you're not rushing ahead of it. Maybe you need to go slower. Just take responsibility for yourself. And the next time, just keep going past your chin and up into the air, up to the sides. Again. One last time, just really slowly. And then staying in touch with any energy you've developed through doing the body work that you want to take into the meditation, and moving in a way where you're not going to disturb yourself. Just now moving into your meditation posture, sitting on a chair or on cushions.
Hello everyone, so this is going to be a workshop on the material which I've been developing quite recently. My name is Vajradaka, and I teach within Triratna all over the world, and also at different secular classes as well. So there's a particular approach which I think is very interesting, but based on a very traditional foundation of mindfulness and meditation. And this relates to two important parts of mindfulness. One is having a clear area of engagement. Now, this approach of having a clear area of engagement can be approached with any aspect of your life. So it could be very practical, a practical thing which you're doing. Let's say that you're going to cook a meal. So your clear area of engagement is everything to do with cooking that meal. So you have two parts really of this. So one part is personal mindfulness. You're in touch with the experience of your body, your mood, and your thinking. And all of that personal mindfulness is within the context of the cooking the meal. So you're aware of lifting up things, putting things down, how you touch things, the smell of things, the very sort of physical experience, the sensual experience of cooking the meal. You're aware of the ingredients that you need and the time that you've got. Mindfulness of time is an important part of this. So your area of engagement is everything to do with cooking the meal and presenting the meal within the time that you've got, and that your thinking is all to do with this area. So when your mind wanders away, you bring it back. When you notice that you've lost awareness of chopping or stirring, you come back. So you have this particular context which you get more and more involved in at a practical level. So that this practical aspect of engagement can be applied to anything that you're doing. It might be that you're just going for a walk, and the context of your mindfulness is yourself, your body, your feelings, your thoughts, your mood, in the context of the walk. And then when you come back, you might decide to actually do something different, and that becomes the context for your mindfulness. So a way that I like to talk about this is you have different dimensions of awareness, of mindfulness. So the practical dimension, for example, is an important one. Another important dimension of mindfulness is being aware of your mental states, your mood, your emotions, the tone of your thinking. And so this dimension could also be applied in any context. You can have this as a theme or a dimension of awareness in conversation, in just being on your own, reflecting, or doing something. So the particular filter or lens, as it were, of your awareness is of your mental and emotional mental states. And whether your mood is optimistic, whether you have a can-do kind of attitude, whether it's pessimistic, can't do, we're all doomed kind of mental state. So this lens of awareness of your mood is an important part of mindfulness and awareness. And you start to get a sense of that partially through awareness of your body, how your body kind of droops or sags, can be expressive of your attitude to life and your general mood. So the awareness of your mood is a starting point. because then you might notice that actually you need to make some adjustments. You've got into perhaps a rather can't do pessimistic attitude, and you need to kind of start to reflect on things in a different way, in a way that you can do things, looking for confidence, encouraging yourself to do things in a slightly different way, to be more aware, to look for the positive opportunities and potential for what you're doing. And in this way, the awareness of your mood and mental states actually turns into working with them and turning them around so that you're more positively engaged and committed to what you're doing and seeing the value of it. So what I'd like to do, first of all, is to just guide you into a little meditation where we have that perspective for a while. So it's going to be quite short, about 10 minutes. So find yourself sitting comfortably. Awareness of your body, just giving yourself directions to help you come into experience of your body sitting here, particularly your back. Awareness of your back. What's your posture like? Does it feel hard and forced, jammed upright, ramrod? Or is it a bit slack? Or is it naturally poised and relaxed? Taking it in. The back. The feeling in the back. Does it feel comfortable or uncomfortable? And having a sense of your back as being not just physical awareness, but also in some way being a doorway or a portal to your mood. Is there a sense of up for things or not? Now bringing awareness forward into the whole chest and belly area, the front of your torso, and just taking in how that feels. Is there a sense of openness or closedness in your body? Noticing if your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the front of your torso. And now having a sense that this whole front of your body and the experience of it is like a doorway or a portal also to your mood and how you are within yourself. Do you feel open or closed? Is there a sense of can-do or something different? Is there a sense of closeness in your body that in some way echoes a closeness in your mind and your emotions? Just being aware of that. And if you notice in your body there is a sense of closeness and constriction, just taking it in and very gently just dropping the words open in to this area, imaginatively open. And just being open to any responses that arise from doing that. Now, being aware of the belly area in particular, how it feels. Noticing if there's any settled or unsettled qualities there that in some way reflect on or echo what's going on in your mind and your emotions. If you feel anything unsettled, just drop the word settle into that area. So, broadening awareness to the whole sense of yourself. And just taking in and absorbing how you are. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about building up on this dimension of working with your mental states in mindfulness. So one of the ways that you can do this is to be aware of the energy of your thought and your thinking processes. Is your thinking really zapping around and busy and frazzled, overexcited? Or at the other extreme, is your thinking quite languid and disconnected and not focused? Or is it more in the middle where your thinking is quite steady and calm and focused? So just take a few moments now just to get a sense of what your background thinking is like in terms of its energy. over, under, or just right. Just taking it in, being aware of that. So if the energy level of your thinking is just right and quite steady and focused, you just stay with that. But if it's too overwrought, too frazzled, or too languid, you can actually start to have an effect on it directly. So if your thinking is really frazzled and all over the place and jumpy, you can start to consciously direct your thinking onto something in a steady, focused way. So it might be a particular topic that you're involved with, or it might be the meditation, so that your thinking becomes more and more about what it is that you're doing. What is helpful here? That I really want to do this. And being open to the tone of thought, which is encouraging for what you're doing. You could say even enthusiastic for what you're doing. That you want to do this. But that your thinking becomes focused and steady and positive about what you're engaged in. So part of the skill here is to actually reflect on what you're doing, the action or the project that you're involved in, and seeing that it matters to you. You know, the bigger picture is that what you're doing and what you're about to do is something that is of value to you. You think that it's and feel that it's important for you. This is a really important basis for doing things, because then you can throw yourself into it more wholeheartedly because you want to do it. Then, on that basis of wanting to do things, you can get the sense of, is there a quality of lack of commitment or doubt in your thinking and your feeling tone of your thinking about you doing things? If there is, then you need to kind of start to directly encourage yourself. This is fine. This is a good thing. I can do this. Can get involved in this. It's a good thing. And the tone of encouragement. So sometimes it's easier to get a sense of how you encourage others to do things which are a good thing. And then, as it were, bring it back into how you that feeling of encouragement of something positive and directing it in yourself and feeling it within yourself, so that you actually know what it feels like to be encouraging. Partially, perhaps, because you know what it feels like to encourage others, but also now to encourage yourself. So we're going to do a short meditation where we focus more on the tone of thought that we have. So again, sitting comfortably. Being aware of yourself sitting here, adjusting your posture so you're poised and comfortable. Now aware of your back. having that sense of your back being like a relaxed but upright pillar of your being. A core, you could say, of awareness, where your muscles are relaxed but supporting you. Right up through your neck. Now bringing awareness forward to the front, to the chest particularly, and just awareness of the feelings and sense in this area. Now, using your imagination, just extend your awareness, as it were, to what's going on in the background. What kind of trains of thought, preoccupations, narratives, stories, if any, are going on in the background? And what's the tone? Is it optimistic, pessimistic, fearful, brave, committed, uncommitted? The tone of that background thought. Does it have anxiety or irritation or interest and enthusiasm? The tone of thought. So if you notice that the tone of thought is slightly doubtful and holding you back, then just very, very gently get in touch with the quality of being encouraging of what you're doing. That being aware is a good thing. You can do it. You can be aware. You can be engaged. An encouraging tone of directing your attention to awareness of yourself. A supportive tone to your direction, to be aware of yourself sitting here. And what that supportive and encouraging tone of thought feels like, that helps you be aware of you sitting here, being open to what's happening in your body and your mind. Now letting your thought direct you to being aware of your body and now your breath in an encouraging way, with an encouraging tone of thought and direction. Coming more and more into the experience of the breath now, letting it come to the forefront. So the experience of the breath with an encouraging, supportive tone in the background. Noticing if there's any discouraged or discouraging tone, just letting it go, and come back to an encouraging, supportive tone to what you're paying attention to, the breath. That this has value. That you want to be in touch with the breath and stay with it. That this process of staying with the breath, noticing when the mind wanders and bringing it back to the breath, is a positive, helpful process that you want to do. Settling the mind into the awareness of the breath with a background tone of being supportive and encouraging of this process. Broadening awareness to the whole sense of yourself sitting here. Getting a sense of how your body and your general mood are related. So just to finish, just a few words about other ways that you can have other dimensions of awareness in what you're doing. Like, say, for example, you can, within the context of virtually everything that you do, you can be aware that there's change. So when you're being aware of the breath, you can have that context. I'm changing, the breath is changing. But you're still basically aware of the breath. But it has that, as it were, lens of awareness of that it's changing and that you're staying with and following the changes. So this brings in a sense of, well, change, but continuity and following change. And that you are changing as you follow the experience of change, you change. Just letting that view, that experience sink in as you're aware of everything that you do, and particularly in the meditation. So in that way, you can be doing ordinary things like cooking, but you're staying with the process of change, how you change, your feeling changes. You're following it. And most particularly, notice when you jump off, you jump away from this thread of experience and objective engagement with what you're doing. And getting used to coming back again and again because it's a good thing to do. And being patient with that process. So on that note, we're going to finish here. Thank you all for your attention. And goodbye to you all.